Amador County's local television network, TSPN. And now back to Monday with Monique.
Welcome back to Mondays with Monique. So we have Darin Sexton, Duncan Adam, no S, here today. We're just kind of laughing about that. And so we're going to do a little beer and food pairing right now, which I'm very excited about. So take it away.
Well, let's start with a beautiful Firestone beer.
Okay.
This is Opal. This is, you want to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, this is a rather new beer in our lineup. This is our 18th year. Actually, we're into our 19th year as a brewery, and this brand new guy for us, about a year old. It's a farmhouse saison style that we're actually dry hopping, which is a little unique.
You can smell it from here.
Yeah, you can smell it from here. It's almost like a Sauv Blanc-like aroma to it, and it's from a hop called Hallertau Blanc that we use, and it's just this wonderful, light, almost buttery Sauvignon Blanc-like beer, and it goes really well with this cheese Darin selected.
Oh, fabulous.
It's delicious. Yeah, you want to try some?
Of course I want to try it. And then tell me about the cheese.
Excuse me. Herbs to Humboldt. So it's Cypress Grove in Arcata, California. Beautiful. I think you had one of them.
I had the Purple Haze.
The Purple Haze.
What I purchased on Friday.
Oh, it's got, I think, fennel pollen on it, and it's delicious. So this has like herbs de Provence and a couple of other things in there, and it's just beautiful. It works great with the Opal. So.
And then, you know, what I did is I had the goat cheese, and then I also had this honeycomb, which I also purchased from you. I don't know if we can get a good shot on that one. But that is a true honeycomb. The honey, just because it's still in the comb, is so sweet, so fresh. It just, I don't know. It's amazing. If you haven't tried it, you have to try it.
Right. The flavors you get from honey, it's incredible. Just, you know, and it's regional.
Out, you know, the pop in some foods.
Oh, definitely. Especially in a goat cheese. So.
Yeah. Okay, so what do we do first?
Well, let's just get these crackers open real quick here.
Sounds good.
Use your dangerous knife.
Yeah. Could be a little sharper.
No, it works great. So these are a crisp from Canada. Just a plain, nice and nutty. They hold up well with the goat cheese.
I love the nuts
they're
too.
Really nice.
That's neat.
I'll put these.
I'll take them.
Okay, perfect.
What brand are they?
It's Leslie Stowe.
All right. Nice.
So here's one for you.
Okay, thank you.
Get one for Duncan here.
You're going to do this kind of like communion or what?
Yeah, exactly.
At the same time?
Yeah, exactly. So who's going to talk
bread
while
and the
we're
beer instead of the wine?
That's
now,
right.
You know?
That's okay. We could do that. Absolutely.
So who goes first?
Why don't you show us how to do it?
Well, we will first.
Okay.
Try not to talk with your mouth full, but it's delicious. They go great. You get
goat
the herbs.
cheese is amazing.
And I'm not a big fan of goat cheese, but this is delicious.
I'm not either. It's not
this
too...
particular brand, all different flavors, really top notch.
Right. Somewhat tame, I guess, or maybe it's just really good, but yeah, it's not too goaty as we
It's not overly goaty.
Yeah.
It's not overly goaty.
And
I actually have a pet goat.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Does he like the cheese?
He does. And a friend of mine came over and says, "Oh, yeah, do you get milk from your goat?" And I'm like, well, he doesn't really appreciate that. No, we don't do that.
So now we can enjoy a nice sip.
Okay.
Well, without even having ever tried this cheese, I can just tell that Opal is going to play with this so beautifully.
It's so nice together.
Oh, yeah. Just the hop flavor of this beer and the herbs that are in that goat cheese. I mean, as we were talking about earlier, they just play with each other. They play on each other.
The beer tastes different than it did yesterday when I had it without this. I mean, really does. You know, and like you said, the food and the wine, the beer and the food, the way they work off each other, and you know, it can make the food taste better. It can make the beer taste better.
It does. It does.
And that fattiness of that, you know, with the acid in this beer, and it really just.
And I noticed when you open the bottle, you know, beautiful, it's pretty strong aroma. I can smell it from here. And then when you actually drink the beer in conjunction with the goat cheese, it's much more mellow.
Right.
You know, it wasn't like this. I was thinking it was going to be really heavy beer. No, it was like smooth.
Right.
Really
and
neat.
leaves a nice these beers, especially the farmhouse ales and a lot of the new, you know, finer craft beers. That it's not just the flavor when you drink it; it's the finish too. After it's gone, you know, it goes through this transition of flavors that if you wait for it, it's
What do you
it's really
taste
great.
at the end of this beer? What's the finish like? Because I just noticed it right now too. Because I drank it but without the food, and I could taste it more.
I get a little pepper almost, like a little. It's floral, and then it's a peppery.
It's almost like a wheat peppered-like taste, and then at least for me, and I'll keep saying it, that Sauvignon Blanc-like taste just keeps coming through for me.
Yeah, I tasted something. I don't know if it was floral or maybe even kind of like an orange blossomy. I don't know, something right before the very end.
Totally, yeah,
I
like
love
white
it.
flour. I
great
for sure
stuff.
taste that.
Good. Okay, what's next?
And that's the great thing about beer. There really is no wrong answer. Whatever you taste and whatever comes to mind is. That's what it is, right? Exactly.
It's like a lot like wine now. I mean, everyone's palate's different, and so everyone's going to pick up different things.
Right.
I agree.
I'd like to use unconventional words that way anyway, so.
Good. I like picnicables, all the cool things you have in the cold case there.
Oh, right.
And the crackers, and I noticed you had some really great popcorn, different flavored popcorn.
Oh, yeah.
I'm dying to try it. I think it's like a thyme flavored.
Popcorn, it's a caramel corn, and and then there's some other beer-driven flavors, and caramel corn, and definitely. And
That's
everything
next.
works with beer, the chocolate or this, one of these picnicables is this speck here from Italy. It's a smoked prosciutto, and Duncan brought a beer that we thought might just
Nice
really
job,
work.
Duncan.
I think this is just going to go extremely well, and these flavors will really marry with each other.
And Firestone has, they have many styles of beer they make.
Thank you.
Each one is, so true to form to the style and so well done. It's like, not just because he's here. I'm a huge fan of their beers, throughout the lineup.
And that was my first experience with beer and food pairing, is when I had it at the Rancheria. And I thought, wow,
that's right, yeah.
amazing. It was just so good together, really good. I had a friend that's like a home brew guy and, knows a lot about beer. And I thought, I hope this is entertaining for him. A few couples went together.
Yeah.
And he loved it. He just
that's
really
cool.
loved it. Yeah. And he knows, he makes his own beer. He's got in tune food with beer, and he really enjoyed it. It was well done.
Good. Well, we're a little lucky, at least I'm a little lucky to be involved with Firestone in that we like our beers to be paired with food. We don't want to make a beer that is just a beer to drink. We at least want it to be the full experience.
Yeah.
And a lot of the beers, especially I think this next pairing, we've designed the beers with that in mind.
Yeah.
Do you drink the beer first this time? Or do you always eat the food and then the beer?
I think that's a personal preference, however you want to reset your palate.
Right.
If you want to reset your palate with the food and then go with the beer, or vice versa.
I'm going to change it up this time and do the beer first,
Okay.
and then the food, and then see how it changed.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. So cheers,
Let's
guys.
cheers.
Cheers.
Happy
Happy Monday.
Monday, yeah, it's Monday.
Every Monday's a happy Monday. Mondays with Monique,
Exactly. And with beer.
So this is double barrel ale, and we call it double barrel
It's
because it's a very old school way we make this beer, and we're actually one of the only breweries in the world that uses this process. When we make this beer, we make it in the traditional way in stainless steel tanks. It's a big mechanized brewery. The difference with this beer is once we've brewed it, we actually put it into medium toasted American oak barrels,
Is that
much
right?
like you do with wine. Yeah,
I didn't know
so
that.
we're actually going to have our cooper toast the inside to a medium toast, which gives a little caramelization of the wood. You're getting a little toasty flavor to it. And not really anyone else is doing this on a production level in the United States. And actually, you have to go to England. Marston's is the name of the brewery that we actually got the process from and kind of tweaked it to our own needs, and then patented it. And we're the only ones that do that. And it's given this beer just this great complexity and depth that you don't find in a lot of amber-style ales.
Right.
Totally agree. It's
Okay,
delicious.
so we pair it with the speck, right?
Right.
Okay, so I'll
Which
just
is,
grab a piece.
nice. It's like a prosciutto, dry cured ham, but then they smoke it with applewood smoke.
That's great even by itself. It's really good.
Just melts in your mouth. It's from the way up north in Italy, near the Alps.
It's really tender too. Prosciutto can be stringy sometimes. And it's very tender.
I slice it as thin as I can get it and still keep it together.
Do you package it at your facility?
Yeah, so we'll buy, big pieces, and then once a week, usually I'll take each of those, slice them up, vacuum seal them, so they're ready to just go, and we do them in different sizes. So, yeah, if you're out picnicking, you can buy a little one, or if you have some guests, you can buy a bigger package. So,
And it's already sliced.
and
Gotta
it's
love
sliced
that.
right there in house, so it's fresh, and and I'm going to be very selective on what I put in the package. So
It's amazing. And I like how they go together.
right.
Because this could be, it's pretty flavorful meat. And then the beer with it, they just kind of feel like they meld together.
The toastiness of the barrel that DBA is in and the smoked of this meat. I mean, it's perfect.
Yeah, it really
I agree.
is. And so now, we currently don't have this in the store. After this pairing and discovering that, we will for sure
We'll have to do
that.
that.
And I'll probably even have it on draft because I do that a lot with beers. I'll try something that I've had maybe years ago or a couple years ago, and then I try something, I'm re-reminded, I fall in love with the beer all over again, and then it ends up on draft, and then, you know, we share it with people, and just like food
Then
or
it kind of
wine.
cycles out and you try something again.
But then while you're doing that, you're sharing it with customers and people, and that whole, you know, beer culture is growing and spreading, and it's just fun. You know, like you said, it gives you something to talk about at your dinner party or whatever it might be.
Exactly. Well, we have a little bit of time left. Are you interested in doing the beer that goes with the dessert?
We can totally
Let's
do
try
that.
it. Let's try it. Why not?
So,
And in the meantime, maybe if you don't mind opening it, that'd be appreciated. Let's talk about your event. You have an event coming up, and that's why I wanted to get you on right away.
oh, right, we're having February 21st. It's still in the planning stages right now, but just about there, a beer versus wine dinner. So, Yorba Wines is selecting, Ann Kramer is selecting wine. I'm selecting beers to go head-to-head with those wines with the Volcano Union Inn and Tracy and Mark Berkner.
Do like a
they're going
catering
to do
type
the
thing.
food, and so we'll host it at Provisions, and it'll be, you know, a fun, you know, beer versus wine, and it'll kind of be pairing the beer and the wine with the same dish, and then the customer decides which one they like better.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm voting for beer.
Well, we're just about out of time. Let's try it real quick. That's
that.
February 21st. What time of day?
I believe it's at 7 p.m. So here's a barrel-aged narwhal.
All right.
We'll say
Cheers, guys.
and sign you.
We're going to say cheers, and we're going to say goodbye. We're going to have to try this cookie later. Thanks so much for watching Mondays with Monique, and have a great day.
You're watching Amador County's local television network,